This is the KTLA 5 News at Noon. I'm Glenn Walker.
And I'm Lou Parker. Emotional testimony as Kobe Bryant's widow, Vanessa, takes the stand in her lawsuit against LA County. Bryant is suing the county over graphic photos of the crash site where her husband and daughter were killed, along with 7 others.
KTLA 5's Corrine DeWinter live now at the courthouse in downtown Los Angeles with the details on today's testimony. Corrine?
Well, Glenn, right now, Bryant is being cross-examined by defense attorneys. But earlier in the morning, well, she spent a lot of time on the stand, as you mentioned, quite emotional. As she recounted that day, she detailed how she first learned about the death of her loved ones and how disgusted, those were her words, she says, that she was when she found out how the investigation was handled that day. She detailed how distraught she became when she found out that first responders took pictures at the crash site and disseminated them. Now you're seeing video now of Bryant arriving early this morning at the federal court building. She's been a fixture inside the courtroom since this trial began last week, listening to graphic testimony from officials. She was extremely emotional on the stand this morning, crying so hard at times that she actually had to stop. She's suing the county for millions of dollars of damage and negligence and invading her privacy after her husband, daughter, and several other people, 7 people, died when the helicopter crashed back in January 2020. Now, some officials on the scene, they snapped photos of the victims. They shared them with others. And Bryant, well, she testified that she thought the first responders would have had compassion, she says, and respect, saying that her loved ones deserved dignity. She says every night before going to bed, she actually prays for them and is haunted by what was done to them. She says she feels extremely frustrated and helpless, and she fears every day of her life that these photos will surface online, telling the court that I don't ever want to see my babies in that way. I don't think anyone should ever have to see their family in that way. She described the toll that this has taken on her. She sometimes feels like she can't breathe. She has panic attacks. So a very emotional day so far for Vanessa Bryant. This legal expert weighed in on the huge task for jurors.
This is a very difficult case for a jury to hear because they're going to be given a jury instruction saying they can't decide this case based on sympathy. But with Vanessa Bryant testifying today, how can a jury not sympathize with her? What the county of LA has to do with cross-examining Vanessa Bryant is establish that very few people saw the photographs.
And once Bryant wraps up her testimony from cross-examination, well, the county's attorneys will begin building their case with their defense. We've already heard from first responders in this trial. Some of them have apologized to Vanessa Bryant. The county's biggest argument has been that while photos from the crash site were viewed and shared with others, that they've all been deleted. They contend that they don't exist anywhere and have not appeared online. We'll have another update coming up in the next hour. We'll send it back to you now in the studio.